Hello. Yes, I may well have did a clickbait there, but there's a reason. Not necessarily to get viewers in to watch this, but hopefully to get Satori and Cody to see this message. And it may well not make an impact because sometimes there's people in the world that don't care. But I'm going to say what I'm about to say and send a message not only to them, but to other people out there who fake their content. Now, I'm not talking about the people like the Sam and Colbys or whatever that go in and overreact to stuff that's there and say it's something when it's not. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that go into places and put string or hide someone behind a door or propose to actually speak to the dead and be so upset about it that, they're emotional and everything and ask for money. Okay. Oh, send me money. Help me with my research. Help me. I want money. They're the ones I'm talking about. I'm hoping that they're the ones that are listening. And unfortunately, as people know, in life, there are people that get rich, and it's always been the way. People get rich, make money off the backs of people's grief. Come in, spinner. Here's a sucker. They'll fall for it. Here they are. Well, you know what? Not everyone's a sucker. Not everybody falls for crap. Mind you, I have. I mean, I've paid money to mediums to try and talk to my son. I've paid money to paranormal channels that I thought were legitimate because I thought, oh, yes, please go to that place. Please go and see if you can get some proof that can help me cope. Like I'll know that maybe if you get the proof there, then I can talk to my son. So usually I stay away from this stuff. I am not a debunker. I'm a mother of 6 children, one of which was killed in an accident a few years ago. And since his death, I've been trying to think, can I talk to him? Really? Can I? Because mediums certainly couldn't do it, despite taking my money. See, sucker. And then I was watching paranormal channels who were going into places and getting shadows and EVPs and, oh my God, did you see that? And I believed it. I thought, oh, wow. Now, I'm a big fan, for example, of Ghost Hunters. I watched that many moons ago. I was intrigued. And I liked them because they never really came away and said, oh, yeah. Most of the time, in fact, they said, yeah, nothing, or that was interesting. But they never ever once said definitely, at least not to my knowledge. So I used to enjoy watching that. Plus, they'd interject it with a bit of humour. It wasn't scary to watch. It was interesting. Excuse my little friend here. So anyway, back to why I put the clickbait. So I was having a cup of coffee, much like I am now, just the other day, and I was watching an episode with Beardo, and he was reviewing an interview done by Project Fear, I think. Can correct me if I'm wrong, but the kids, the boy and his sister and his mates that go and do investigating, and yeah, they overreact a fair bit. And I've been to some of the places they've been to, and gosh, I wish it was that active when I was there. Anyway, they're not the kind of fakers I'm talking about here. Just remember that. I'm talking about the people who deliberately make money out of the grief, from those people that they know will pay to speak to their dead ones. So I was watching that episode, and I was watching the answers that the young girl, she did most of the talking, to be honest. I actually kind of was surprised at that, but she did most of the talking, and Cody answered sometimes. So, fair enough, whatever, was listening. The kids, despite, they're kids, probably being told to do this episode by production. I've never actually seen those kids interview before. I've seen them ask questions of people when they go to places, but I've never seen that. And despite the background of all them, I'm not getting into that, okay? But they did a pretty good job. They at least brought up the footage from 11 years ago where Cody did indeed use A, B, C, D. Anyway, they did. And you saw the response from that. And if you didn't, you need to go watch that video. They basically laughed it off. Satori claimed that she invented the ABC bit in order to communicate with the knocking, which is clearly not true. She didn't. It was created 11 years ago by Cody and his mate. And probably created by someone else before that, to be honest. But anyway, away they go. The interview proceeds. Beardo's getting cranky and pausing because you've got to do those things anyway, otherwise you get a copyright strike. But then Beardo told his story about him wanting them to prove it to him and why. And again, if you don't know, go back, watch Beardo's episode. I'll put links to it in the bottom. His comment, for whatever reason, when he was talking about that, struck a chord with me. And I got very, very, not upset, angry. I got really angry. And I thought, you know what? These people, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, they're really not very good people, all right? To actually, unless they're delusional, to actually propose that via the alphabet and holding hands, they can speak to the dead and get messages from the dead via going through the alphabet and knocking. If it were real, I would assume they could use that gift for something a lot higher than working in a supposedly haunted house, still to be convinced of that, which is now really just a money-making house that charges a fortune for you to go there. They're making their money there. That's their business. People come and they do their trick, and that's what I'll call it, a trick. What upsets me most is that they're preying mostly on people that are grieving. So they know that they can research the backgrounds of people and absolutely telling fibs if they say they can't find out much on people. I can. I've got certain research tools that I can use. I can't find out deepest, darkest secrets, but in America, good Lord, you can find out someone's, if you've got subscriptions there, you can find out someone's absolute, where they live now, what their phone number is, what their email address is, what their actual name is, have they got a criminal record. That's so easy. You've got to pay for it, but you can find it. So for them to say, oh, how would we do that? Because you know who's coming, sweetheart. You know who's coming to the house. They fill in a form. Anyway, I don't care how they do it. What I care about is the fact that it's who they're doing it to and who they're tricking and who believes them. So people like me, I've lost a child. And when Beardo spoke about his friend, that hit home with me because I also lost a friend to, took their own life. You've got to be careful what you say on the YouTube. He was a friend I had known since childhood who often would call me and come up with, hey, let's meet up. And I go, no, we're just friends, And one day, and he was quite well known he was very well known and he had friends in high places and I loved him. And every year, he was born the day before me, every year we'd say happy birthday. Anyway, this one time, I digress. This one time he rang me and I went, rolled my eyes and I thought, here we go again. I'm not in the mood. And I ignored the call. Only a couple months later, I turned on the television and it was all over the news that he had been found dead at his home on the porch from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. To say I was devastated, It hit hard. And then the guilt came. What if that phone call was a cry for help and I ignored him? Do I talk to him out loud sometimes? I do, just like I speak to most of the people in my life that have passed. I talk out loud. It's kind of good therapy. I don't know if they can hear me, but it helps me. So when I saw Beardo get so upset about that, I understood, because when you're grieving, and I know most of you watching understand this because a lot of us are grieving. And if anything, I reckon half the people, if not more, of the people that watch paranormal programming have lost someone that they love and are too trying to find answers of a way we can communicate. And I don't really think those answers have been found yet. But maybe one day. But not Sam. Sorry, I'm getting upset. But not by them, okay? Not by Colby or Kobe or whatever the hell his name is in Satori. They were challenged. They were asked. They point blank, take your shoes and socks off now and show us. No was the answer. No. People with foot fetishes might be watching. Ugh. Or maybe one day, if the spirits think it's okay. What a load of crap. So what do I think of those two? Not much. And if you are watching, or if someone who knows them is watching, try to stop them doing what they do. They're one of many, all right? They're not the only charlatans out there that make money off of the back of people that have lost someone that they love. They're not the only ones. There's channels out there that do it as well. I'm not going to name them. You watch all the debunking channels. You go for that. Like I say, I don't care about the ones that are entertainment despite anything, like, the high produced ones and all that sort of thing. The ones that are on the tally, they're all BS. But they're entertaining, and who knows, that half of those people may actually get true evidence, and then because of all the high production and stuff, it's lost in the, whatever. But they have fun doing it, and it's entertaining, and even I watch it. I don't get upset with them. They're not asking me for money. They're not being paid by my back pocket for anything. But people that ask for money, mediums, every man and his dog's a bloody medium. Well, I've fallen for that. I've gone, she's really good. She knows. No, they don't. I had one medium tell me that my son was going to give me a grandchild. And I said, how's that possible? And she goes, well, very soon. And I said, no, he's dead. So you see, there's horrible people out there who fake shit to make money because they know that certain people are just so in need of hearing something from their dead whatever, wanting closure that they're probably not going to have until they pass away. And I just wanted to say, if they're watching, just go away. Just stop. And as for all the other people that fake stuff, pull books off with string and crap like that, stop. Because one day, someone you love is going to die. Someone unexpectedly will have a heart attack, take their own life, be hit by a truck. And then you will be looking for answers. And guess what? You might be in the same position that myself and other people are in, where you struggle on a daily basis to even open your eyes in the morning because that grief is so strong. So shame on you. But if you are real, if what you're doing really, really is real, take your shoes and socks off. Beardo will fly it over, I'm sure. And Kenny Biddle, 100% Kenny Biddle will be there. Do it. Do it for Kenny. Kenny, I'd believe, even though he's your dad's friend, who gives a shit? He's not going to lie. I'd believe him. So come on, for everyone to see live and all. And I know you're not going to do it because the excuse will be foot fetishes, the spirits they just won't talk to us. So shame on you for taking advantage of the grief that a lot of people have. Just shame on you. And that's it. I think that's the end of my Karen rant. I have turned off comments for this one because, despite the fact probably only 10 people will watch it, I'm just hoping it gets to them. And I just don't want people getting in the comments yelling at me because I'm calling them names. I'm not calling them names. I am, I guess. I'm calling them what they are. And if they're not what I'm calling them, then they can prove it. Come on, prove it. I would love to be told I'm wrong, because then I would fly over. I would spend the money on an airfare to fly over to you and get you to talk to my friend who hurt himself and my son and get me to give the answers I need. But you can't, because you're cruel and you're just stupidly young. Either way, that's all. I'm going to go and do some gardening, and let's hope that this couple just sort of fade away. And for people out there that are suffering grief, I feel you. And that's why come on over every Friday when I go live and say hey, and we'll have a giggle and talk about things that could or couldn't be real. Bigfoot's always a favourite. Just smile. Keep going. That's what I do. Just keep going, because you want to be doing what they could have done if they were still here. You got to just live and be happy and fight the grief and stay away from people like that make you think that you can talk to them just as easy as that. Anyway, that's all. I'll see you later. Bye.